I agree it's his squad, but that doesn't guarantee that he's going to be there, Scoop. I don't know that the Redskins can franchise tag him, which puts him as a top 5 average paid quarterback, which means he hits the market and the list of teams in win now mode, not in rebuild mode, that need quarterbacks. Houston, St. Louis, they are going to be bidding his services up. So the question is going to be about money. Does Cousins want to be in Washington, and how much money will they give him?
They will give him anything. They need something. They need an identity. I think they need him more than any other team that you mentioned, and they'll pay for it.
Ultimately, I think you're right, and I think he does stay in that uniform.
Prem, you got to do it right. You like that? You like that?
That's part of letting go. You just got to go all in.
That's my boy from Michigan State. I'm from Washington. They are not going to let Kirk Cousins go. That place is going crazy for him. Yeah. And what they invested in him by letting him take over the reins and finally moving on from RG3, they have to stick with him. And I think he kind of likes it there. I think they're going to keep him.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Ryan Fitzpatrick. He is in the final year of a 2-year deal that he signed with the Texans. Will he stay with the Jets?
Fitzmagic is going to stay, especially if he wins this game in Buffalo. And I think he's going to cash in. I think the way he's been playing, the Jets are going to have to feel the pressure of Woody Johnson to pay him. Brandon Marshall, Eric Decker, you brought those guys in. They have a chemistry going. I think they're going to keep him.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. All of these analyses, all of them come down to money and player desire. Do I want to be here? Because there's going to be huge competition for these guys. The power's in their hands. Does Fitzpatrick want to be a Jet? Or does he want to go to the 49ers? Does he want to take more money? I suspect he's experiencing success like he never has.
Exactly.
And he wants to be with the Jets.
I think the Jets are going to overpay for him, too.
Yeah, I think so, too. And I think one of the things that goes to what you said, I think Brandon Marshall is part of the reason he's going to stay there. I think they built up a chemistry so far this season. In the offseason, they rebuild more. And I think Ryan would look at this and say, you know what? I'm not going to find this type of wide receiver anyplace else. I'm going to ride with him as long as I can because we can do something special together. So,
how about the Brockweiler, as our very own Trey Wingo likes to call him? He's in the final year of his rookie deal that he signed with the Broncos. Peyton Manning has 1 year left on his restructured deal. He's signed in the offseason. So will the Brockweiler be under center for the Broncos come week 1 next season? Well,
yes. Broncos seem to be bigger believers than I am, and I think Osweiler actually has a future. It just isn't this season.
Right.
But yeah, I think that he is probably the quarterback of the future for the Broncos.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if he's going to be starting game 1 if Peyton is healthy. They may have Peyton ride out next season the same way Kobe's riding out this season, be your last season. But they're going to treat this just like Brett Favre. I mean, they did with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. He's going to be there the minute Peyton goes. He's going to be with the franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I still think if it's a playoff situation, you want Peyton Manning to start. But I do think for next season, I think Brock has shown you enough that he can be the guy moving forward. So, yes, I do think he's going to be with the Broncos.
Okay, so far, everybody's agreeing that everyone's going to stay.
It's about to change,
Exactly.
Saving the best for last. All right, Sam Bradford, he is in the final year of the 6-year deal that he signed with the Rams back in 2010. Will he be under center for the Eagles in week 1 next season? Who wants to go first?
Deuces. He's out.
He's out?
He's out. He's
simple
gone.
as that.
As simple as that.
Yeah, but you got to tell us who's going to be starting for the Eagles.
Now, that we don't know. And who can get in the mind of Chip Kelly? You know, we can say one thing now and then, be back here the minute the season's over and he starts restructuring his whole thing because Laurie, the owner, is like, you know what? I gave you the chance to run this, Chip, under your rules. It didn't work. Now we're doing my thing. So we don't know who's going to run. But I cannot see.
You think he's done?
I think he's done. I think he's done.
I'm not afraid. Starting for the Eagles next season will be one of 2 guys, Colin Kaepernick or RG3. Chip Kelly needs what the offense is built around. He needs a quarterback with some legs. Those 2 guys, one of those 2 guys ends up as an Eagle. And Sam Bradford drops into not a horrible place to be. You still have 3 or 4 teams in win-now mode. The Houston Texans. We don't know what's going to happen with the New Orleans Saints. I mean, are they going to pay Drew Brees $30 million? Is Drew Brees on the open market?
No.
And by the way, there's about 2 or 3 first-round quarterbacks, and only about 2 or 3 teams who are in that let's build and draft and groom a quarterback. Everybody else they're in that 9-7, 7-9 range. Let's win. We can get in with an experienced quarterback.
All right, 2 out of 3 say no, and
I don't think he's going to be there. There's a lot of uncertainty with Philadelphia. We don't know if Chip Kelly's going to be there. Even if Chip Kelly is there, he makes a lot of moves, and I think he is going to want somebody else to run that offense. I think he's seen what he can do with Sam Bradford and is not doing what he wants. So I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on him coming back. He's probably going to want to bring in another quarterback.
Now you bring up a good topic. Chip Kelly, that's going to be a big question. Let's go around the table. Is he going to be there next year?
I think he's going to be there.
That did not sound very
I think they'll give him one more chance.
confident.
Yeah.
I just, you never know with Chip Kelly because, there's a lot of good college openings have been filled, but I do think that they are going to bring him back. I think the Eagles have invested enough in him that they want to see one more year with him and maybe give him a chance to finally get some of his guys in. But you know what? He's running out of chances. He got rid of Shady McCoy. He got rid of Jeremy Maclin. He got rid of Nick Foles. What else is he going to need?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way for a different reason that we talked about Tom Coughlin earlier, is that, before we start replacing somebody, they have to have somebody in place. And I don't know if the Eagles have somebody in place right now, but I think they'll use next season to start that small search committee. All right, who's going to replace Chip Kelly? And it has to be somebody with some presence and a big name, not just anybody they just drag in there. So I think he stays.
I hope they don't get rid of Chip Kelly. I'm not saying that because I'm a Cowboys fan.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are. No, I'm a fan of innovators. I'm a fan of people that do things against the grain. I like that he has his ideas. He's going to implement his ideas. I'd like to see him get a full opportunity to implement them. And I think he needs that quarterback like a Kaepernick, like an RG3 to run that offense. I mean, as a Cowboy fan, if he got everything he needed, I'm nervous of what the Eagles could do. So as an objective observer, I think they should let him have at least one more year.
Coming from an Eagles fan, I don't know. He got everything that he needed. You got the leading rusher from last year. What more do you want?
So you want a new coach?
I would say I would take away his duties as the player personnel and GM. I think it's just too much. That's the reason why you don't see it too much in the NFL.
Can I ask both of y'all a question? Yeah. Okay, is that the excuse he's going to use with, the ownership of the Eagles? Like, I didn't have the quarterback I needed?
No,
I don't think so, because he went and got
I know, but still, in all honesty, he wanted somebody.
He'll make a change, but he won't make it his excuse for his failures. I mean,
he wants Marcus Mariota.
That's what I was saying. You took the words right out of my mouth. He wanted somebody from
He thinks they're
Oregon.
better than they are. He said, I think this team is better than this record.
We've talked about this topic on a lot of other shows, and there's a lot of conversation about that it has to be between Chip Kelly or DeMarco Murray. That one of them is going to go. But we'll see what happens. They've got one more.
And if DeMarco Murray has the owner's ear, well, who knows about that?
We'll see what happens. All right, let's switch gears. Kobe had a big celebration in Charlotte last night.